and welcome. My name is Beck and you're watching Beck's Crafty Nook. Today I would like to finish a craft that I started a little while ago. It's a resin craft and I'm making a set of dominoes. Now, I stopped this project because I ran out of resin, but I've been collecting some resin stuff and I still have the supplies that I need to make it from last time. So I'll show you what I've got and then we'll get started. Okay, here is all the stuff. I have some buttons in yellow, green and blue and some little bits of paper ripped up. Then I have butterflies in the green, yellow and blue. And here I've completed the purple. I have a few more yellows to do and then I was going to do blue and green. But in the course of leaving this project for like probably a year, we've gotten all this dust and dirt. So I can go and wash this full mold up. This one I'm going to have to sticky tape wipe out and then we can get started. I'll also show you how they're looking. I'm going to pull a couple out and you can have a look. So here's the purple one. I think I put the buttons up. No, I did. I put them the right way around. So that's that one. And so these ones just need a back on them now. And I was thinking white pearlescent and then put some gold flakes on top. So let's look at the yellow. And so here's how the yellow one looks. So I think they're going to be quite beautiful. And then we'll do the gold paint pen. So I think it's worth finishing the project. So let's get started. I'm going to go wash this up. I'm going to put all this stuff, wipe this down. We'll put it on a new flat board and then we'll mix up the resin and get started. Alright, I've cleaned everything up and we're going to start with a very thin layer of UV resin. I didn't do this last time, so I hope everything will be okay. Last time I did a thin layer of the epoxy resin. I do have both, but I'm just going to use this so I can do the embeds and so it's not so fumy. When I mix up these glitters, that will be epoxy resin and I'll just do a thin layer just like this. And it also means we can do the faces, cure that outside in the sun, get this layer done, let that cure 24, 48 hours and then do the backs. Or we might even be able to do the backs of these ones, but we may as well do it all at the same time. So wish me luck. I'm going to start with this. It has a nozzle. And we'll just do one at a time. So we've got to finish our yellow set. So I'll just do a thin layer, enough to get everything down. If this works well, that'll be a bit of a game changer, because I don't have to worry about the fumes until we get to the other layers. But I do have a table outside now. So we do have a little bubble there. Great, now I don't know where my toothpicks are. My children have moved them. Here they are. I'll just move that bubble with a toothpick. I do have alcohol as well. I don't know if you're supposed to stick alcohol on top of the UV resin. There we go. I'll just pop that. Okay, so I've got the lid back on. And so we need a yellow butterfly. And so I got these stickers from Temu. And I'm pretty sure I didn't take any backing off. But I've got to make sure I lay it down the right way. So, and I think I just put them wherever. I've just cut them in half. May need to cut it a little bit more. Although I don't know where my scissors have gone either. Alright, maybe we can just make it fit. Or maybe choose a different one. Let's try that one. Okay, and then I just choose one big button or a medium button and a little button to go in there out of our yellows. So here is the medium one. Put that there and a larger one. And go over there so we can see it. Okay, that's it. Next, I do hope this works. Put that big boy there. And tiny little one over here. Next. That's a little bit of dust there. Get out. Okay, we're able to make them fit. And I might have to find a couple more buttons. Like, we've only got one left. So maybe the next two only have one button each. Yeah, that one's only got one button. We do what we gotta do. And then... Oh, am I supposed to put the little bits of paper? Forgot about that. Do our tiny button. And then we can do a couple of little bits of paper. Boom, that's the yellows. Let's move on to green. Hopefully it's not too thick. Okay. And this cutie. And then we've got an itty bitty button. Even that one should be cool. Put that in the corner. And maybe a tiny, got these tiny little ones could go over here. I feel like that could be too much resin. So we've got to have room to put the glitters on. Just enough to cover the dots. Now for the blue. Okay, I've run out of my little bits of paper, so I'll just go show you the book I got them from and make some more. Okay, this is a little book, Flowers in Clusters, and it's made out of, like, it's not paper, it's something else, vellum. So yeah, I just got to go through and look for some black and white ones that we can rip up. Okay, let's keep going. Beautiful. The layer's all done. I'm going to go set it out in the sun with a cover to keep the bugs off. Yeah, here we are. I'll put a timer on for 15 minutes. Alright, we're back from outside. I left it for 20 minutes and it's hard, so I think I'm going to continue with the UV resin, because next what we're going to do is just put a tiny layer and some glitter on top. Now, I thought I was in trouble because these are all my glitters and there's no glue, but luckily I just got these babies and we've got a blue, and I picked out this green and this yellow. So I'm just going to put the tiniest little coating of UV resin and just going to sprinkle on the glitter with my little spoon. I think I'll just put enough to cover and leave enough room for our backing layer. So I'll just go get my other container. I get these guys from Temu. It's 100 grams, but you get quite a lot. And you could just take this one off. It has a seal. The seal was hard to get off, so I cut it. And then you can put your nozzle on, and then this bit screws off. Okay, my timer just went off and they are set. And I think I want to do the last layer with UV resin. I haven't got like a whole heap left. So we've got a little shot glass. We're going to do pearlescent white, and then we're going to sprinkle some flakes on top with our toothpick. So yeah, I'm going to mix a fair bit up. And we'll just move this for the second. So this is just mica powder, but we want to make it pretty like not see-through, because then you can cheat at the game if it's see-through. So wish me luck. Because you also don't want to over mica, otherwise it doesn't set. I think we're going to need a fair bit. Let's start with that much. Then we'll get a little shovelful. So this spoon, we've got like the shovel end as well. Let's put a shovelful in, or maybe that much, because I don't want it to be see-through. Wipe this off for now, and see all that beautiful pearlescent shimmer. Okay, toothpick time. Hopefully that mixes in. I'm a little worried now. Is that too much mica powder? I don't know, I'm new at this. But I love making stuff. Especially the dominoes, they turn out so beautiful. Okay, we're getting down to the bottom. One eternity of mixing later. I feel like that could have been too much mica powder. But we don't want it to be see-through. Okay, I think that's mixed through. Wish me luck. Because we still have quite a bit to fill. Now we'll see, is this going to wreck the whole thing? And you don't want to fill too much, because then they dome. A little more. We might have to do some in the epoxy resin. Because I feel like I'm going to use that whole bottle of UV resin on one set of dominoes. Can we even see? Yes, good. Sorry, my head shadow's in the way a little bit. It's a good amount of not see-through though. I think one shovelful was a good amount of mica powder. Yeah, I'm not sure we'll get through this whole thing with the amount of UV resin I've got, but I do have epoxy resin. I'll just drip some on my bench. Good job. I hope it's going to cure. Yep. We need quite a lot more. Probably going to use this whole thing of UV resin. Okay. Alright, I'll come back once I've poured them all. And getting a bit of separating. Oh, that's okay. We're going to put the flakes on top. Let me do that before I do go. I'm going to get another toothpick. Excuse me while I get messy. Okay, this is the last of my UV resin, boohoo, and I can't find where I put my mica powder, so I'm having issues. Okay, welcome to the giant mess that I'm making. I ran out of resin, I put gold leaf everywhere, and what we're going to do is set these in UV light, take them out, and then we'll do the rest with epoxy, and then we can have a quick sneak peek of what it's going to look like. Houston, we have a problem. So I just went out to check that they were ready, and they're hard But then when you press in certain bits, you get a little explosion of UV resin. So maybe we should just like press on them and get any bits out and then go cure it again. So yeah, probably do that last layer that's not see-through with epoxy resin. And now you're not going to be able to see the glitter bits. And now I'm touching resin with my hands. Everything was doing well until it wasn't. It's interesting that it should just find its way out though. Oh gosh, I shouldn't be touching resin with my hands. Yeah, maybe we just spread it around. Well, we knew something had to go wrong at some point, right? Okay. I'll wash my hands. I'll put that back outside. I did have a thought. I wonder if we can pop it out and turn it around, like where it's clear, and cure some of it from the other side. Pull this out. Because it's clear there, I wonder if it would cure from the top down. Some of it's... can't even see. That side is sticky too. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure I put that butterfly upside down. Otherwise, it's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe we just cure it from a couple of different ways. Alright, I'm going to pop these out. Alright, let's keep curing the backs. I lifted them all out. Some of them look pretty sweet. Look at that one. That's so cool. Some are not so good because I obviously did the sticker wrong. It looks like it's upside down. But, you know, it's all a learning curve. So we'll cure it this way. And then when I get home from picking up my kids, we'll flip it over and see if it can cure a little bit from this side as well. Because that should cure those bits. And then the rest we're going to use epoxy. Lesson learned. Okay, I left them out in the sun, both sides, and crisis has been averted. They don't look amazing this way, but I am just going to tighten them up with some fine sandpaper that I stole from my partner. He uses this to sand walls, so I think it's a pretty fine grit. And then I'm going to film again while I'm putting the lines on with my paint pen. And then I'll see you back once all of these are finished. We're just going to do exactly the same thing, but with epoxy. Alright, well it's legit been a month later and I finally decided to pour the backs of all the other dominoes. So I used this resin that I got from Aldi, and I've got a scale, so I weighed it out. It still took so much resin. I have to find out how much resin it actually takes to do a full set. And then sprinkle a bit of the flakes on the back. For some reason, because I mixed a new batch for that top row, it looks a little bit of a different colour. But I'm sure they're going to turn out slightly dodgy and I won't be able to sell them, so it doesn't matter. Now on my way, carrying them over to my little box where, you know, I leave them to set, it did just spill out a little bit. So it's finally reveal day. It's been 2 days. Here's our purple set that we already have with our dodgy backs that didn't set properly. And let's unmold. And so here's where I realize the UV resin didn't set and they're a little bit sticky. But they look amazing. So yeah, I was a bit confused here for a little while. I think because I thought I had poured that entire first layer with epoxy resin, but I hadn't. I did that with UV resin in this video. And actually those last two were not sticky. So yeah, I don't think we should do it with UV resin again. We should just be patient and use the epoxy resin. So I'm gonna buy myself like a big jar. The green ones look so cool. I think because the stickers are really vibrant. I don't know what happened to the purple stickers, if they were just like, you know, got damaged by the sun, or were they just like really pastel? But yeah, I love all the elements with the buttons and the sticker and the little bits of paper and the glitter, matching glitter. Alright, so to sort out a sticky issue, what I'm going to do is get the rubbing alcohol and we're just going to put that over the surface. But let's look at a little family portrait first. They're so pretty. I can't wait to put their gold dots on them. So yeah, just the good old icicle, rubbing alcohol and some makeup pads. And off we go. So once I'm finished with the rubbing alcohol, I'm just going to let them set. Hopefully, you know, just being upright right will set any UV resin that needs to be set. And then we'll come back, give them a little sand. I don't think I need to put that on camera, but I will sand them and then you can watch me as I put their beautiful gold dots on. It's finally time for the reveal. So I sanded them, put the gold paint on with the paint pen. I did go over the purple ones and I think they turned out really good. I'm really happy with them. They're not selling quality. There's lots of like air bubbles and stuff, but I'm really happy with the design and I think myself and my daughters will have fun playing with them. Tell me in the comments which set is your favorite out of the colors. I mean, it's a whole set, but what's your favorite one? I think mine is the yellow, or maybe yellow and green. See, there's a giant hole there. Okay, shh, they look so nice. Yeah, it's got to be the green. Look how nice they look with the gold, especially those dark stickers. Anyway, hope you enjoyed and let me know what was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see. And check out these other videos.